This next piece you've just got to get. According to a chap named Alan Kruger, who's a Princeton economics department man, and a fellow named Stacy Dale, who's a big shot at the Andrew Mellon Foundation, if you take the records of people who attend, let's say Harvard, who attended Harvard, and you look at them 20 years later, and people who were accepted at Harvard but didn't go 20 years after graduation, there's no difference at all. The people who didn't go make as much money and are as famous as the people who did go. And what that tells me is that Harvard doesn't add the value to the kids, that by carefully selecting people who already have a record of performance distinction, not grade distinction, that's how it makes it appear that these few colleges dominate, the brain trust of the world. That, let me just say, oh yeah, Harvard turns down. I had an audience with the admissions director of Harvard, and I had an audience with the admissions director of Princeton, which is on the level of Harvard in the United States. The woman at Harvard told me, Marlon McGrath Lewis is her name, she told me that Harvard turns down 4 out of every 5 valedictorians. I don't know if that exists in Holland, but it's the highest score in any individual high school or private school. They turn down 4 out of 5 who apply. And the Princeton man told me that they never accept anyone who has a perfect grade average or a perfect standardized test score. They turn down hundreds of those every year because it clearly shows the people are imbalanced. And I said, well, what do you look at? Well, first he said, we look at their hobbies. I said, their hobbies? I've been taught you don't even mention those. You don't waste important people's time. He said, on the contrary, it's the only area where young people have the freedom to choose how to spend their time. So it gives you a direct tunnel into their inner selves.